Second. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Witching Hour. Hey, witches, come on in. I'm here in double. Maybe it's because I have two Phillips. Hold on 1 second. Courtney, take over for 1 second, okay? Hold on. I'm losing internet. Woo!
Oh, no. All right. Well, hey, guys, welcome. It's Wednesday, and we are here vibing all the vibes thanks to producer Rob and his birthday pick. But before we get into it, I'm Courtney Buckley, ghost bait on Scared and Alone. The vibes are on or off. I don't know. We will decide. And Patti, are you back?
I am back. Sorry, you guys. I've had texts here since 8 this morning. Giving me internet phones of my 6 lines, none of which work, but they were here 1 minute ago. Hi, everybody. So forget about me. Welcome to the Witching Hour. This should be really fun today. I'm going to let Black Phillip and my 4 beautiful co-hosts take over. So again, I am Patti Negri. You might know me from the Witching Hour, from Ghost Adventures, from YouTube, from Bathroom Walls Across America, or my fabulous book, Dollcraft, A Witch's Guide to Puppet Magic. I remembered to Puppet Magic and Haunted Dolls, or Old World Magic for the Modern World. But let me, since I can't do more than 2 or 3 sentences at a time right now until I have a big glass of water, let me pass it back to Courtney.
Me again.
To introduce yourself, since we were there.
Well, I did. In case anybody missed it, Courtney Buckley, ghost bait on Scared and Alone, and the official mic hander offer to Heather. Introduce yourself, Heather.
Okay, hi. I've got the mic now. I am Heather Greene. I'm the author of Lights, Camera, Witchcraft, A Critical History of Witches and Witchcraft in American Film and Television. I am also an editor at Llewellyn Worldwide, working with wonderful witchy authors, which some are here amongst us. And I also am a journalist covering things, all things occult and witchy in the mainstream media, and a member of this coven, and happy to be here tonight, vibing all the vibes. And now I'm going to hand the mic over to, let's see, Jason Mankey.
I am Jason Mankey, author of how many books? 10 books. That's like 10 more than most people and 8 more than most authors. I have beautiful blonde hair. I'm on the road a lot, but not as often as Patti Negri. And I am going to pass it off now to Richard-Lael Lillard.
I am Richard-Lael, as it says right down here. That's not Richard-Lael, right over there. That's not Richard-Lael. This is Richard-Lael. Richard-Lael is 1 name, not 2 names. If I were just Richard, I'd be a... that's right. I am a psychic medium. I used to be a psychic small, but I gained weight. That being said, I'm really easy to find. I am everywhere that the gentleman psychics are sold. I'm on the media as a social, but before you go there, make certain that you hit the like, the subscribe, all of the comments. Help us to give you stellar entertainment like this. Also, if you want to sleep with me, you can go right over to mysterycontrol.com. If you want to get into Patti's panties, you can absolutely do that right over there at Mystery Control. If you want to be a bro witch, if you want some books that Heather has had some part in, she's an author. She's done all kinds of things. If you want quotes by Courtney, if you want to join the cult, you can go right over to...
Don't give out our secret.
Witches Movie Coven right over there. That's who we are. Come and find us.
Thank you so much. Anyway, that is us. We are witches, and we talk about witches, etc. in movies. This week's movie was, as been stated before, Vibes with Cyndi Lauper and Jeff Goldblum. Hopefully you guys all watched it. You got forewarning, but just in case you did not watch it in advance, Richard-Lael, do you have an unbiased, in-depth synopsis of this lovely film?
I do have. There is one thing that Heather needs to address before we come to me.
We do?
Yeah, that one little thing.
Yeah, I would like to give a shout out to a member of our coven and a former guest, Becky Ann. She is currently going through some medical problems, issues with her child, and I just wanted us to face for her and know that we are thinking about her and that we love her, and she's in our hearts and our minds and our spirits. So I think we should just give that shout out.
Indeed. Thank you. Go back in. So, all right. Now we will move over to Richard-Lael.
Yep, that's me. So here is tonight's film. It's Vibes, 1980 something. This is the Jeff Goldblum film you have never seen. And if you have, you forgot about it until you rewatched it and you went, oh, I kind of remember this film. Oh yeah, I do. So the film is it's about, well, I have to be honest, I put it on time and a half, and then I put it on 2 times, and then I put it on 3 times as fast because I wanted to get through it to watch this film. So it is about Cyndi Lauper and Jeff Goldblum, whom are psychics in in sort of like a psychic convention, I guess. And she's very flirty. And so Jeff Goldblum, who is married, is put off instantly by Cyndi Lauper's over flirtation. As it turns out, she is dating a Harry. They end up by going to by being conned into going to Central or South America. I can't remember now which one it was. It's where the Incas are, and I know that makes me sound awful. Ecuador. They go to Ecuador to find where the Incas were because his son had been kidnapped. And yet, here's the deal. Jeff Goldblum can read objects, psychokinesis or something. He can read objects. And so he finds out that the son is not in any danger and that they're actually brought to find this ancient pyramid that was brought by aliens. And so in this, people get killed. They end up by finding this space. Cyndi Lauper goes to protect everyone from the wrath of Khan. and she touches this pyramid, losing contact with her spirit guide, Sophie or Sylvia. So unfortunately for her, she now does not have any spirit guides because Cyndi was almost killed in touching the pyramid. I totally get it. I totally get that. So as the tension has built through this entire film, Jeff Goldblum is no longer married, by the way, because this is the 80s, and we found out that she was already having an affair. I skipped over that. Anyway, the tension has sort of come to a head, and Jeff Goldblum comes in to Cyndi Lauper's room, and he reads her glass because he can read the energies that was put in it. And instantly, they are madly in love. And just as it's getting really good, and they're about to make love, Cyndi Lauper gets in contact with her spirit guide, but it is no longer Sylvia. It is, in fact, her dead boyfriend, Harry Peter Falk.
You know, I thought I had a handle on this movie after I just finished watching it, and now somehow I'm more confused.
Yeah, me too. Courtney.
So thank you, Richard-Lael. That was great.
In fairness, I think this movie might have been better at 2.5 times speed after listening to Richard-Lael.
Well, thank you. But maybe, just maybe, Heather might have just 5 more things about this film that we may learn to understand.
Well, I'm going to put him down for a second so I can get my notes. Okay, you sit here. So this movie, Vibes.
I love your hair.
Oh,
80s hair.
It's my 80s Cyndi
Girls
Lauper.
just want to have fun.
Girls just want to have fun. So I'm going to try to contain that for now. And we're going to go to the facts and the figures. So 1988 was when this movie came out. It's a Sony picture. It grossed $1,800,000+. The budget was $18 million. So that should tell you whether this was a flop or a success right there. It was released not to video until 2009, so it was in the theaters originally. It was directed by Ken Kwapis. It was original screenplay. It is considered an action adventure. That's the basis of what we're looking at here. The original development, number 2, was started in 1986. No, 1986. And again, as I said, it was an original screenplay. So 1986, they came up with this idea. They started mulling it around. Originally was going to start Dan Aykroyd. They wanted Dan Aykroyd and Tracy Ullman. Tracy Ullman had another show going on at the time. That was really when she was getting her start. Aykroyd said no after meeting Cyndi Lauper. They brought Cyndi Lauper on, then she agreed, and then they brought Jeff Goldblum. So there was a number of actors that were rolling around. It was filmed predominantly in Ecuador and Los Angeles, although the opening scenes were clearly New York City. They couldn't have faked that. But mostly in Ecuador, all of that stuff was on location. And then some of the scenes with the actual tomb or whatever that was at the end, they rebuilt it in Los Angeles on a set. So some of that was done in Los Angeles. So let's talk about the wonderful actors. I'm going to highlight a few of them, not all of them, but a few of them. If you grew up during this period of time in the 1980s, a lot more of the actors that I'm not going to mention are very familiar faces, because if you saw a lot of movies in the 80s, these actors were regulars. But key actors, Jeff Goldblum, of course, we all know who he is. He actually, I mentioned the last time we saw him, which was Wicked, which is one of his, I like to point out the witchcraft films these guys are in, of course, Wicked. I just saw him recently. I rewatched Nashville. And if you have not seen a very, very, very young Jeff Goldblum, he has no lines in the scene, but he's in it and he's extremely young. It's not his first film, but it's like his second film. It's like 77 or 75, and it's a great film. So watch Nashville. Of course, same time, Earth Girls Are Easy. I saw somebody put that in the comments. This is a one at the time. He had just made The Fly in 86, so he was popular. So he had The Fly at the time. Of course, Earth Girls Are Easy. And eventually you get him in a number of things. Of course, Jurassic Park is probably what he's most known for. And you can start seeing that persona in this film. Of course, Cyndi Lauper, how could we not talk about her? She, at this point in time, she was already a rock star. Everybody knew who she was by 88. Her first album, She's So Unusual, came out in 83. It was a massive success. Best New Artist, Best Female Video. For the very first year that MTV had those, she won the Best Video. Her second album was in 1986. True Colors album came out in 1986. Another huge success. She also did the music and the soundtrack for Goonies. She wasn't in it. She did like I think she was the musical soundtrack director or something like that. So she was on a roll. She was supremely popular, doing all things. And she has been since. She actually has a Tony Award for Kinky Boots. And she's done a ton of things. And here is her first main acting role. Peter Falk, of course, known for Columbo. He's been in a ton of other things. We saw him in Princess Bride, as well as a few. I think we saw him in something else. He appeared, but I can't remember. But Murder by Death. There's a bunch of his other things.
My favorite one.
What was that? Murder by Death.
My favorite.
Murder by Death. Yeah, he's been in a ton of stuff, mostly murder, mystery, kind of police stuff because of his Columbo fame. But we saw him. He was in Princess Bride. And let's say Julian Sands, someone mentioned him in the comment. Wasn't he the devil? He was actually Warlock in the Warlock films. That's where we have seen him here talking about him, but he was famed for A Room with a View, for Killing Fields, and a ton of things in the 80s. He sadly died recently in 2023. I believe he was hiking and got lost or something like that, unfortunately. And again, I said Steve Buscemi shows up in this film. For I believe he was very short. In fact, he was so short I didn't notice. There he is. I guess I turned away at the time or something. That's Nashville. That's the Nashville scene right there. That's
Both of
from
those women are so out of his league, right? I mean, come on. Like, who thought that was realistic? Jeez.
Steve Buscemi, of course. I believe we saw him Wednesday TV show. He was also a voice in Monster House. He's done all the things. Like he pops up everywhere throughout time. So Fargo, Reservoir Dogs. I didn't even realize he was in Reservoir Dogs. Pulp Fiction. So he's everywhere. And then, as I said, some of these these faces, Elizabeth Pena, Park Overall, who had like a 3-second thing. A lot of these other faces are very, very familiar if you watched a lot of TV at the time. So those are some of the actors that I wanted to point out. And now I'm going to flip back to number 4, action adventure. So this is a really big time for action adventure of this sort. Of course, you have sword and sorcery. There's a lot of things that qualify, but this is very much in the vein of Indiana Jones. So this is an Indiana Jones. We had at the time was extremely popular. 81, 84 was Temple of Doom. So you have this kind of Hollywood loved even before this period of time, these films that take people into these deserted areas, these backwards cultures, and they find temples and weird stuff and all the spirits. It's very much in the vein of the archaeology of Indiana Jones. Of course, you have Goonies, you have Romancing the Stone, you have Big Trouble in Little China. There's a whole bunch of them that kind of flow that.
I think she froze.
The vibes are not good with Heather.
Oh, no.
Whoa. Hi, Jason.
Wow. So 5 other things that you need to know about this movie. It's a lot like Romancing the Stone, which is a lot like Indiana Jones, except it's not at all like Indiana Jones. I don't have anything to say about 5 things. I'm not prepared. I'm just trying to stall for Heather. There she is.
Yay! We're back. Okay, there we go. I don't know if that's going to keep happening. I'm wired. I'm not on Wi-Fi, so I have no clue why that keeps happening. So that's the second time. But yes, I just said
Heather. It's the vibes.
It's the vibes.
Yeah.
It's the hair.
Everybody put your hands and feel the vibes.
Mystic Shield, guys. Mystic Shield.
So as I said, there's a lot of popular films at this time. Indiana Jones was really the starter, 81, and then it went through. Like I heard Jason say, Romancing the Stone, Big Trouble in Little China, Goonies, and then of course it ties into all of the sword and sorcery films as well that have a similar type of feel, but this is a little different. This genre was way more popular in the 50s and the 60s, and I can tell you it was way more troubling. We won't get into that at this point with the way they represented the cultures that they went into. This one is much more like the Romancing the Stone meets Indiana Jones kind of Temple of Doom time of feel. So my 5th one, I want to bring up also another genre that was getting popular towards the late 80s was the psychic. Movies with psychics. We were just on the cusp in 88 of the witch craze. Just at the beginning of it. Witches of Eastwick came out in 87. Warlock was 89. Witchcraft was 88. So just at the beginning of the satanic witch stuff that was going to start happening, Hocus Pocus, the witches, etc., that I talk about all the time. But there were a bunch of movies right in the late 80s that were kind of comedy around psychics, and around witchcraft. There were witch light is what I call them in my book. But for example, Hello Again, I believe we talked about this film on this program. Hello Again is 1987. The Butcher's Wife is 1991. Those are 2 examples. 4 Rooms is another one. And Love at Stake is another one where you have this sort of comedy around or a comedy around witchcraft, psychic stuff, and all that. So we're having, this is sort of plays into that as well. And a 6th note is that my very talkative cat has just entered the room. And so she's given off the vibes. She may come over here and have something to say about this movie in a few minutes. Here she comes. We're just warning everyone. She's here. You hear her?
Yeah.
Can you guys? She's meowing. Hello.
Aww.
Hey.
Aww.
you have something to say? No? Okay. Go back down. Anyway, she talks a lot. And she just opened the door. She can open doors, and she opened the door and let herself into my office. So, so anyway, those are the 5 things that I have for you, and I will talk about Cyndi Lauper and the 80s later.
Okay, perfect. Okay, does anybody want to start this? Richard-Lael?
Okay. So I like Jeff Goldblum. I love Cyndi Lauper. I love movies about psychics. There was a lot of magic that was sort of crammed into it. And I did watch it at 3 times the speed, so I had it. It was like injected into my veins. And then I fell asleep, and then I had to go back and watch the last 15 minutes, but again on 3 times the speed. And then I had to read Wikipedia. I love Cyndi Lauper because girls want to have fun. That's about where I'm going to go until I give my opinion.
Okay, and you're not ready to give your. It's so funny. You like Jeff Goldblum and love Cyndi Lauper. I like Cyndi Lauper and I love Jeff Goldblum. So I'm going to start there. So I was like, oh, it's a psychic movie. It's 80s crazy big hair, 80s outfits. I am going to love this. And you're watching it going, oh, they're going Ecuador. Oh, it's an adventure. Oh, Peter Falk. I love Columbo. And I just kept waiting for the love. I just kept on waiting for the love. Like the puzzle pieces just did not come together. I was trying to figure out the acting style, which I don't really like to do when I'm watching a movie. I just want to enjoy it. But it was like all the little puzzle pieces were missing for some reason for me. I kept falling asleep, and I don't fall asleep to Jeff Goldblum. And I really shouldn't fall asleep to Cyndi Lauper or psychic. It's like, ooh, psychic testing. Oh, they're using the little car. But I missed something, or something was missed in that movie big time for me to. I think I know what they were trying to do, but something didn't work. That's what I have to say so far.
I liked the dancing scene. I was awake for that. The dancing scene was beautiful. I loved the tango, even at 3 times the speed. I loved the tango. It was I liked that. That was magic.
I kind of like the stuff in New York at the beginning where they're testing the psychics. That I think would have made a much more interesting movie. And the whole thing lost me when they go to Ecuador. I think that part just really, or was it Ecuador?
Yes.
I think it was Ecuador. Yeah. And that part just lost me. It just wasn't as interesting anymore. Cyndi Lauper is a New Yorker, and she should be in New York. I think a film with her in that area with psychics would have been much more fun.
Girl, you in danger. You in danger, girl.
I know that they do stylized movies like with the color tones and stuff, and this had that 80s bright thing to it, but something sounded, even the sound did not sound, the music was great. It's like, oh, who was it? James Horner. Somebody did was that who it was? A person doing the music, but the sound was off to me. Even their vocal sound didn't sound like it was mixed right. Again, it just sounds like they dropped it in the blender wrong.
Courtney's dying to say something. You can.
Yes, we're waiting, Courtney.
Okay, so I almost called out sick this week when I saw what the movie was, because I had some ideas, some notions rooted in my brain about what it was that I was going to be watching, because I've been tortured enough on this show and I don't want to watch horrible movies anymore. But it was Rob's birthday pick, and we love Rob and we want him to have the happiest birthday. So I said, you know what? Time to put your big girl pants on and power through this and deal with it. And then I don't know if this will come as a surprise or not, but I found that I was paying attention to it because they were talking so fast, and it just spoke to my ADHD, and the one-liners were so one-liney, and Jeff Goldblum. And when Jeff Goldblum and Cyndi Lauper kiss, actually, when Jeff Goldblum kisses anybody, I feel feelings stirring within me. So that was also thrilling and exciting for me. And I'm not ashamed to say that I loved it. I thought it was great. It was so funny. It was so stupid. They were so serious about it, but also not, because Jeff Goldblum isn't serious about anything, even when he's being serious, it feels like. Because he always gives like he knows the secret, like he knows the punchline before he gives it, kind of an attitude, and I love that about him. So I expected to be hexing Rob for choosing this for his birthday, and instead I might have to hex you all for talking mean things about it, because I kind of love it.
Happy birthday, Rob.
Birthday, Rob.
And I'm not saying this to be nice for Rob's birthday, because I don't say things to be nice. So there we go.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, Rob. Thanks. Thanks a lot. But I wanted to like it. Like I said, I really wanted to like it, Courtney. I really, really wanted to like it. Maybe I should have got high or something. That's going to always be my answer. I had a cocktail or two, or smoked a bowl. I don't know. That might have done something. But I didn't. Yeah.
You know what's funny is I feel like it gives me, you brought up Warlock earlier, like it gives me the same vibes as Warlock did, and I loved Warlock because it was so stupid. And I think about that movie from time to time because I think about how ridiculous it was, and it made me laugh so much. So it did give the vibes of that to me. So I think that maybe that had something to do with it, but I don't know. So, but I was not high. And I don't drink. So I watched it stone cold sober. I did have a lot of Monster today. Maybe that's why the talking fast worked, but I did not. I think I would have had an aneurysm if I had watched it at 3 times the speed, Richard-Lael. I don't know how you grasped any of it, honestly.
So,
In
I
fairness,
I wasn't high, but I also fell asleep. Like I said, I had to rewatch the last 15 minutes. How did I do it? I mean, maybe it's because I love the Addams Family so much and I can understand Cousin It. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why I could understand them at 3 times the speed.
in fairness, I mean, Courtney does think Your Highness is one of the best movies ever made. So we need to all take this with a grain of salt. You can't even turn off your light. The vibes are not.
I turned off enough of it, Jason.
Yeah. Slow your roll, Buckley.
I'm coming for you.
Uh-oh.
I'll jump in.
You're welcome out here on the West Coast. I got a place for you to stay. You're always welcome. Just don't
thank
kill
you
me.
for saying such a nice thing while I'm thinking mean things. So. Way to turn this around on me and make me the monster. Hey, Goldilocks, simmer down.
I'll
Simmer
jump
down
in.
now.
Whoop, they're still simmer. They're still. Oh, I'll just back out. I'm not getting between it. Y'all
No,
done?
it's your turn, Heather.
Okay.
Go.
I'm watching. Stepping out. I did not mention the writer on this, and I failed to do that. So I am going to just point out that this was written despite the difficulty some of us may have had with the movie. It was written by somebody who has a record of really good films, and so some of my favorites in here: Parenthood, City Slickers, and Splash, of course, was one of Disney. It was Disney's first foray into films outside of their normal. Of course, we have. Let's see. I'm looking at some of these other ones. Robots, more recently, if you saw that. The Tooth Fairy, even more recently. I don't know if we need to mention that one.
Of all time.
Not really, but that's okay. Of course, A League of Our Own, which is one of my favorites, and that one had some really great actors and actresses in it. One of my favorite lines that we say all the time: "There's no crying in baseball." That's a regular line heard in this house. So the writer, one of the writers on it was somebody who had a staying power and wrote some really incredible comedy films. Whether we think this is one of them, and Vibes, and so now Jason, so you obviously love this film, so I'm going to pass the microphone over to you since.
I have so many good jokes for the moment that I'm like just holding them all in because I can't wait. I can't use them in the show earlier, which is just such a shame. But I don't know, like this is a movie that should work in so many ways, and it has people that you really love in it. I mean, even like I love Steve Buscemi. I made a joke about him not being able to, really attract those ladies, but I love him as an actor. There's little cameos from all kinds of faces that I recognize all through this movie. Of course, Jeff Goldblum is Jeff Goldblum. That's a Gen X icon right there with Winona Ryder. Time After Time is one of the greatest songs ever written and performed. And yet, for whatever reasons, the pieces of this movie just don't really come together very well. And it's really disappointing. Maybe it's because if you lived through the 80s, you know that everyone involved could be doing so much better. I don't know. There's a reason Cyndi Lauper never starred in another film. Right?
I think she did a pretty good job. I mean, I'm comparing her to Madonna's acting career in the 80s, and Cyndi Lauper is far better. I'm just going to be honest. I didn't mind her at all in this role.
Go
ahead.
I didn't hate her, but I mean, I think it just poisoned the well so much, right? Because you never saw her in anything else.
Yeah, I didn't think it was her acting either. Just like Heather, I think it was either the directing or the editing or that weird sound. I don't know what it was. She was cute. They all had this little overblown style, Jeff Goldblum being Jeff and Columbo doing Columbo, and they all had it. But again, the pieces didn't fit together. I thought she was cute. They didn't fit together, just like you said.
I'm going to agree with you, Patti. They had amazing one-liners that made me laugh out loud. There were so many times I just repeated back because I love her accent, because it's like home for me. And so I'm just repeating her accent back. So many great one-liners. The premise is fantastic. It's hysterical. I mean, to have, especially at the beginning when they're like disjointed and like they're all touching stuff and like stuff is happening. The premise is fine. It's a little bit weird when they go to Ecuador, but I felt like they were acting in like bottles apart from each other. Like it wasn't flowing together. Like it didn't like, and I was upset about that because I thought this really has, if they could do this again, it would be great. I love Jeff Goldblum. Cyndi Lauper's acting was fine for me. It didn't bother me. None of them, but it just felt, it was like something wasn't vibing. Like the vibes just weren't flowing as well. But with that said, I did enjoy myself.
So who would you?
I did enjoy myself.
Cast if it were redone? Who would you cast
today? Actors today.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got to put me on the spot. Now my brain's going to go blank. I don't know. That's a really good question because I think the premise and everything about it, even the script, isn't that bad. I mean, some of the one-liners are absolutely hysterical. Oh my God, I think it's great. Who would you cast? I don't know. I'll send that back to you guys. Send it out to our chat room. Who would you cast?
I would cast Jeff Goldblum.
Again?
Goldblum again. He could do it.
Oh, he could. He could do it.
He could do it. Who would I cast as the other one? Maybe Anne Hathaway.
No. You know who would be great? You know who would be so good?
Who?
Would be
Gal Gadot.
Oh, wait, no, I know.
No. You need, if you're going to cast Jeff Goldblum now, you need an actor of his age.
Hold on.
But this is Hollywood. She should be 25 years younger than Goldblum. This is Hollywood, Heather. Stop it
I'm
with your
sorry.
real life stuff.
I am thinking of who stars with
Carol
Jane-
Kane. I would pick Carol Kane.
Patty looks
Judi
like she
Dench.
has someone.
No, I was just doing the Jeff Goldblum thing.
Yeah.
I got
Jeff
somebody.
Goldblum and Dua Lipa. Please make that film. I will give you $500, Hollywood, if you will make that film.
Done, absolutely done.
Yeah. I will help pay for 2 minutes of Jeff Goldblum's time.
There you go.
It's hold on. Dang it.
Give us some hints.
I got it. My brain just stopped. Lily Tomlin and Jeff Goldblum.
Ooh, Lily Tomlin.
Like you could do it like if you're gonna do older actors. Lily Tomlin would be brilliant.
I do love Lily Tomlin.
I do. She seems older than Jeff Goldblum.
I think she is.
Yeah.
I think she is a little older than him.
But
I stick with Carol Kane because she is to me in what's the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. She's like the landlady downstairs. Perfect. I think same vibe, but she's hysterical.
So like younger. If we didn't do Jeff Goldblum, you gotta have a younger actor, like someone that's closer to what they're doing in this movie. Who would you pick from the newer actors? Not Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, but why can't we? I just want to have Jeff Goldblum.
I want Jeff Goldblum.
But you can't have Jeff Goldblum.
But you can't have him. He says no.
Heather's creating the parameters of this exercise.
I don't like this. The vibes are off in this game. I want.
Goldblum vibes.
Timothy Chalamet and Sabrina Carpenter is what's. Oh, that's our host saying that. Okay, it's his birthday. We'll give him that. Timothy Chalamet.
No,
vibe. No, that doesn't give me the right vibe.
I would like Timothy Chalamet if he were a man. Anyway.
Silence takes.
Silence.
I'm looking things up. Hold on.
Michael Cera could play the Jeff Goldblum character.
Yes. Yes.
Robert Pattinson and Dua Lipa.
No.
Who else do we got? Were there people? Paul Rudd is pretty good. Paul Rudd is very good.
Shia
and Rihanna.
LaBeouf.
I'll be right back.
Shia LaBeouf and
He needs to go to jail.
Yeah, he's literally in jail, I think. So.
I know, but give him another chance. He was here in New Orleans enjoying. I also don't really care for his films. Oh, I know. We could do Shia LaBeouf and Amanda Bynes.
This is a lot.
I'm glad Patty wasn't around to hear that. Really,
Did Patty
Like, she
literally
just-
just run away? Did anyone
she
see
just threw up
Patty
her
like,
hands and
ghost
said,
in the
"I'm out."
background? Is that her? I
No,
thought I saw
is it-
like Patty's haunting her own house. Like I saw the movement in the background. It was like,
No, I think I banned Jeff Goldblum and she left.
yeah. It's not like we banned Nick
Like this
Cage.
is
I know, really. If we ban Nick Cage,
this is
then
so
I-
much
okay,
more
hold
serious
on.
than the
I'm
light
banning
being
Nick
off.
Cage. Actually, Nick Cage is not a choice for anyone. So
yeah,
sorry, Patty.
I wouldn't cast him in this role anyway.
Courtney, how can you do that, Courtney?
Very,
You're
very
you're gonna cancel me, Nick Cage? How? It's not really good. It's not a really good impression. He's really hard to do.
Here she comes.
It was almost a Keanu Reeves, though.
Yeah.
Ooh, Keanu Reeves. That would be a good one.
I
Oh,
love
Emma Stone.
I've got vibes.
When
Yeah.
moment. I have to leave for a minute because my internet is being turned off for a minute. I should come right back. Continue on. You're doing fine without me. I'm not good for much anyways today. Keep going. I'll be back if I can, which I think I can. Goodbye. It's one of those days.
The tech vibes are off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, we want retrograde. Goodbye.
Bye.
Uh-oh.
Wow. This is the first time anyone's just like given up on an entire episode of this show.
You know, I feel like I'll take credit for that because I think she heard me say that about Nick Cage and then was like, you know what? I'm not coming back.
We do know how much she loves Nick Cage.
We know, yeah, we do know that.
Yeah, as much as
We
you
do.
love the Addams Family, Richard-Lael, there's certain sacred things in this coven we do not mess with. And Nick Cage
There are
and the Addams
sacred
Family.
things.
The Killing Tree.
The
We don't
Addams
mess
Family.
with- Right.
The
I
Wizard
voted
of
up
Oz.
on the Killing Tree
Mhm.
because it was your birthday.
You voted what?
I voted up on the Killing Tree.
I know.
I know you know.
I remember.
Meanwhile,
That's why I reserve my hexing against you for very serious infractions, unlike Jason, who continuously shows his poor taste in movies by making fun of Your Highness, which is an amazing film, as we all know. So,
speaking of hexes and things, Miss Courtney Buckley, do you happen to have any quotes? I know you said you enjoyed them and you laughed out loud, so maybe you could enlighten us all.
yes, I do have some. Bear with me.
You gotta do Cyndi Lauper's with her New York accent.
No, I can't do that. I will not be doing that. I can read them and then you can re-give them in her accent. That's acceptable. I'm gonna do these quick because they're all one-liners. Jeff Goldblum says, "I do not wish to sacrifice my humanity in order to be used by people as a walking Ouija board or magic wand of some kind." That's exciting. The part when he's in the very beginning, they're testing him and he picks up the knife and he starts screaming that there's a murder and they're like, "Yeah, we know." And then he slams his head on the table and then he sits up and he goes, "Someone's had sex on this table." And the two researchers are like, "Oh, we have to be done now." He says, "I like to breathe. I'm good at it," which feels like, aren't we all? The guy says, "Have you handled a machine gun before?" And he says, "Sure, lots of times. In high school, I was the captain of the machine gun team."
That's good.
And then Sylvia says, "You're very brave." And he says, "Everyone looks brave holding a machine gun." And then when Harry was in the apartment eating an ice cream out of her freezer to hire her, I don't know why that was happening, but he said, "Why do you keep a shotgun in your apartment?" And she said, "It's not really mine. An old boyfriend left it here." And he said, "Why did he keep it?" And she said, "I don't really know. You don't ask a guy named Ice Pick too many questions." And then at one point she said, "I'd give you the finger, but I'm too refined." And sorry, Chica, I can't relate. So, when Jeff Goldblum meets that woman that tries to kill him and she comes out wearing the lingerie and she says, "You like?" And he says, "Parts of me are already applauding." I just love him.
So applauding. I can just hear that in his voice, right? You can hear that in a Jeff Goldblum voice.
Yeah, that's a total Jeff Goldblum line. I love it. Cyndi Lauper says, "It's Louise. She's very upset. She says there's a tremendous psychic energy on this floor." And Harry says, "Probably someone getting a sponge bath. I know that makes me crazy." She says, "What's your problem aside from your face?" And then their bickering back and forth was really funny to me too. At one point when because she was trying to say stuff about calling him like stretcheroo, and he was like, "No." And then he said his girlfriend calls him Honey Muffin, and she says, "Honey Muffin? She calls you Honey Muffin. I can't call you stretcheroo." That was funny. And then he said, "I brought my own food. I'm taking no chances. This is all dehydrated." And she immediately was like, "So are you." I'm surprised all women have, she said, "I'm surprised all women haven't tried to kill you." And then this is not my last one. Hold on. The researcher in the beginning says, Miss Cal, you're fabulous." And she said, "I've been told that before." Then they never call. And then my last one is, Jeff Goldblum says, "Look, I don't make major life decisions on the spur of the moment like this." And she says, "I do." And he said, "Well, your major life decision is probably how high I should comb my hair today." Oh, no, I'm sorry. I have one more. When he's getting in the car and he's leaving, and the doctor runs up to him and says, "I wish you'd reconsider becoming part of my project. It's going to be very exciting." And he says, "I kind of made a decision. I don't want to be a psychic anymore. Yeah, I'm going to turn my attention to ceramics. I'll send you a donkey." And those are my quotes.
That's good.
The one-liners were great.
Like,
They really
literally
had me
nonstop.
laughing out loud.
Yeah.
There's a few others that I can remember. That's that's the best part of it, really.
I expected the one-liners to be followed by "Waka Waka Waka." That's how good I thought they were. Not a compliment.
Jason, since you're there, how about a Mankey movie moment?
Oh, here we go.
Vibes. Oh Lord. The vibes for this movie, much like tonight's show, have been bad. In the case of the movie Vibes, I've always had bad vibes about this for the majority of my life. I want you to know that I sincerely love Cyndi Lauper, and I said it before, Time After Time is one of the best songs of the 80s, if not the best song of the decade. But something warned me back when I was a kid that Vibes was best avoided. Sometimes you just know, and I knew that this film was a lot like a Jell-O salad with carrots, raisins, and celery. You don't have to eat it or see it to know that it's awful. When I saw this movie was coming up on the schedule, I was hoping that I would be out of town that Wednesday. But no, I was on a plane last week, which meant yesterday I had the privilege of seeing Vibes. My younger self was wrong about a whole host of things. Being a Republican, the continued success of Milli Vanilli, dating and being alone now with the pop star Tiffany, and Ricky Schroeder winning an Oscar award. But my younger self was not wrong about Vibes. Run away, young man. Run away. Dan Aykroyd, a guy who genuinely loves the paranormal, took a meeting about starring in this turkey and wisely said, "No way. You know your movie is probably not very good when Aykroyd says he'll pass, and yet they went ahead and made this travesty anyway." I've said this before about Hollywood, and I'll say it again. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Because Vibes has always given me Danger Will Robinson vibes, I was relieved to see that the movie was free on Tubi. There was no way anyone involved in this production was getting $4 out of me. No siree. I've watched several movies now for the Coven on Tubi, and this was the first time I was actively excited about getting to the commercials. The folks at H&R Block begging to do my taxes was certainly more entertaining and much less annoying than Vibes. To me, this felt like a made-for-TV movie. There was just nothing at all that interesting about it. Did my 12-year-old self love the outfits that Cyndi Lauper was wearing? Of course. Was any other part of myself entertained or enthralled by this film? Absolutely not. Even Jeff Goldblum was boring. Vibes was D-grade Ghostbusters. My grandparents used to watch Columbo, so I mean no disrespect to the ghost of Peter Falk, but what a relief when his character Harry Joey Buttafuoco dies and bites the big one. He was so annoying, and annoying in that everyone loves crotchety New Yorkers way that has doomed so many films. No, most of us don't love crotchety New Yorkers. I'm not even sure crotchety New Yorkers love crotchety New Yorkers. But then, horror of all horrors, at the end of the movie, setting up what would have been one of the most unwelcome sequels of the 1980s, Cyndi Lauper sees Harry as her new spirit guide. Holy crap. That was the one time in the film I felt genuine emotion, and that was fear that there might be a Vibes 2, and I might be forced to watch it next year. This movie was picked out by our producer, Rob, and now I understand why he likes the LA Dodgers so much. The Dodgers are bad for baseball in the same way Vibes was bad for movies. But despite your suspect taste in film and sports, I love you anyways, Rob. Happy birthday.
you very much, Jason. I'm sad I missed part of it. I'm sure you guys did quotes while I was gone, or I was away. Thank you. I love that you could do that. Does that?
I don't know how I can. It's magic.
I can't
I'm
do
a
it.
witch.
used to
I'm a
be
very
able to do
powerful
it, and now I
witch.
can't.
Just
Yeah.
Courtney. Just Courtney.
That's right.
Yeah, look at that.
Okay, do you want?
Oh, look at that.
What?
Just Courtney.
I'm such a powerful witch.
You are such a powerful witch.
I don't know.
I'm doing it.
Now I won't do it. Now I look foolish.
Oh no, there it is. And even your shirt's glowing.
Yeah,
Love that.
that is amazing. All right. So I'm sure we did the quotes already. There is one thing to do, and that is vote on this lovely film. Love it, hate it, wands up, wands down. Here we go.
In honor of your birthday, Rob. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Two neutrals, a way up, a way down. And is that's an almost up, Richard-Lael, right?
I actually enjoyed it more than I let on.
Yeah, you did.
You do this to us more than often than not. You
Tentacles
fool us.
up for vibes. The vibes are on. The vibes are
The
vibing.
one-liners were funny, and the I loved the dance scene, and it was I mean it was bad. It was really really awful, but I could see why.
Thumbs up for the H&R Block commercials on Tubi, which were better than the film.
Okay.
Yes.
We've
Let
got
the professionals take over.
we are mixture. We got wands way up by our beautiful Tabitha, so far up. We've got wands down. This is a mixed movie. Love is very important. Yeah, we'll just go with that. We'll just love is very important. Whatever that means. Love.
One's up for Rob for his birthday.
Yay! Happy birthday, Rob. Should we sing? Yeah.
No, we're not going to sing.
No,
Okay.
absolutely not. That's canceled.
I didn't bring my goat upstairs, and I thank you everyone for putting up with my technical difficulties that have been going on for 12 hours now, almost. Thank you all. So what do we know what movie we have next week?
We have the 1962 film Burn, Witch, Burn. Did I see
You know
Courtney
what?
rolling her eyes? What?
I can already sense that Courtney is going to be calling in sick next week.
Well, let me give you a preview, Courtney. Let me give you a little preview. So this coming next week, we're doing Burn, Witch, Burn 1962, and there's a lot of good stuff with that. But the week after is going to be our Oscar special. So begin watching and catching up on all the Oscar-winning or nominated movies, because the week after we'll be discussing the Oscar movies.
Well, the only movie that counts for the Oscars is Sinners, and if they don't win every category, I will be revolting. So
We've got
And
other ones.
Superman.
We've got Weapons. We got Frankenstein. We have a ton of other movies to talk about. So just get ready. So next week, Burn, Witch, Burn, and then our Oscar special.
Ooh, that'll be exciting. Is Frankenstein the one I can't watch because of the wolves?
Yes. Yes. There's a Timothy
Frankenstein-
Chalamet movie even to watch.
I don't need to cry again on this show, so I will be not talking about that movie.
Okay.
I've been catching up on all the ones I haven't seen, and I've cried at every one to the point where my partner has said, we're not watching any more of the Oscar nominated films. He's like, I can't take it anymore. I'm bawling after each one. So anyway, we've got a week and a half or 2 weeks for that. So everybody catch up, watch the great ones that are being nominated, and we'll have a good conversation in a couple weeks. Next week, Burn, Witch, Burn, 1962. I think it's a British movie.
It doesn't take place then in Salem, does it?
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
I will kill everyone with a murder weapon.
It's a British movie. Yeah.
If it's about burning witches in Salem, I'm canceled. I am not coming on that. I'm canceling myself.
Well, you won't know.
I'm gonna Google it first, Patty. I'm not gonna just go in blind with that. Absolutely not.
Courtney, it's
No,
not
thank
the
you.
same when you're not here.
It's not the same.
Okay, well, I can't. I'm preemptively mad for next week, so that's great. I love that. My vibes are now off, and I don't know.
And just to be clear, I forgot to say is that the movie is also called Night of the Eagle, so you could see it under both names.
Is it? Okay. Where is it streaming?
YouTube. It's based on It's based on a book, and I'll have all that cool information because I know a lot about it. There's a lot of movies based on this story, so we'll be able to talk a lot about it. But I haven't seen this particular version. Burn Witchburn or Night of the Eagle. Same movie, 1962 British movie.
Okay. We will watch it. You will watch it, Courtney. You will love it.
Maybe.
Right. Before we go, we are minutes away. Does anybody have anything fun coming up that they want to talk about? Any appearances or events? Look at that.
Mass Paracon.
We're going to be there.
We are going to be there. I love Mass Paracon so much. I'm very excited.
Yes, we are going to be there. So that is coming up. I don't even know when that is. It's on my list.
It's October. It's the first weekend in October. I know because I had to request the time off from work already. So I did that. So that's very exciting.
Okay. And I guess the next thing we know we have is Paganicon, right?
Woo! Three of us.
More than I do. But we're going to be there together too.
Yes, the three of us will be there. It's over the spring equinox. So that's coming up about 3 weeks. And it's going to be super fun.
March 20th through 22nd, right outside Minneapolis, Minnesota. Paganicon, one of the largest pagan gatherings in North America. Heather and Patti and I will all be doing workshops and hanging out until Patti has to run away from us to go tour a haunted house.
Yes, I'm there for my first. I've never got 2 events from one plane trip before. This is like excitement to me. So I'll be with you guys for 2 days, and then 2 days I'm going off to Boyd, Minnesota, I believe. Do you know where that is?
To the Boyd House?
Yes, I'm going to the Boyd House.
Patti,
have you been?
Yes. So the night before we did Villisca, that's where I stayed, and I am telling you, I've never in my life, it was the middle of winter. I went upstairs, we opened the attic door, and I've never heard a tornado siren. And it was not the test of the tornado siren, I don't think, because it was like 10 o'clock at night. I opened the attic door and I stuck my head in, and the tornado siren blasted once. And I think I died and then came back to life. I was so scared. And it was so active and so crazy. And it's wild there. It is a great, 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 great location.
So come join me at the Boyd House the last half of the weekend. Watch everything that Heather and Jason do. Watch what I do the first weekend, and then come get your pants scared off with you.
It's very scary, and there's so many dolls, and I don't like that.
You should come.
I would like. Okay, yes, I'll be there.
Okay,
I'll find a way.
All right. She'll find a way. Yeah, that would be great. Then I get to see like all of you throughout the weekend. I'll just do a quick trip to New Orleans, say hi to Richard-Lael.
Well, Richard-Lael, I was going to say, I was feeling left out. I don't know about you, that they're all going to go be at Paganicon, and I feel like we should crash the party.
I was thinking about that.
Yes,
we should.
Interesting.
Oh, Haunted Doll Tea Party there. I would love that. I just booked one at Mankey Mansion and for August, Mankey Mansion in Virginia City, super haunted, fabulous place.
Fabulous.
Doing a seance one night and 2 nights of investigation. We just were on planning meeting for that tonight in between my lack of internet. Coming up with all of us. So you guys, please like us, follow us on all our social medias. That means you like us, and that's real important to us. We each have separate sites and things. We would appreciate it. And on that note, we have one more thing nobody else had anything going on that we talked about, right? I did not bring my goat upstairs. You guys won't let us sing happy birthday to Rob, but happy birthday, Rob.
Happy birthday, Rob.
Happy birthday, Rob.
I don't know what I did in my goat. Does an owl work?
No.
I don't have a goat.
Birthday.
I have the Adams Family Mansion.
Okay. Oh, the mansion works. I have tortillas, but there's no tortillas.
Tortillas work.
Okay.
I have a tentacle.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.